Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ. And
And
happy 2024.
yeah, it is. It is. Welcome to we had our first Christmas show, now our first New Year's show. So, all you guys that are watching on a holiday, thank you for watching. But it is New Year's Day, and it's another year on the calendar, but the same old, and Fall River keeps just continues to keep going. The newspaper article about the tea not being what it was promised to be. Oh lordy, surprise, surprise. We're using that a lot in the last couple of shows.
I know. I tell
Surprise,
you this.
surprise. Goma. Goma had
Yeah,
it right. It's a surprise. These people sold you guys just like the charter, just like everything they do. Sold you a bill of goods. Everywhere else in the state, the tea's a disaster. There were hundreds of billions of dollars in the hole. We told you about that. But you all ignored it because this is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it's only going to get worse. Right now they said no weekend service, no this, no that. When they go to electric, it's going to be an absolute disaster. So again, they lie again so they can all make money, and they're going to make their money. And when that thing becomes a homeless encampment, like we predicted in about 5 years, they're going to take their money and run.
and the worst part about it is that the politicians that are elected when this process came before the voters won't be around to accept responsibility for the demise. Just like Paul won't be around when we have to deal with the fiscal, insufficiencies that Fall River has. He won't care. The people who supported this train, and we've been to the meetings. You and I went to the meetings. That's where we found out that they watch our show. We can't get any better than what we get. With all the shit that flows through Fall River, you can never say we're constipated. I'll tell you right now. This is the best laxative going. The city of Fall River, and that's a shame. That's a shame. Fall River used to be a place where people worked, they had money, they had stores, they had a life, they had events. What happened in Fall River last night? What happened in Fall River last night? What big thing happened in Fall River last night? Nothing. Nothing. There wasn't no, bright night party. There was none of that. And that was the problem. So people in Fall River had to go out and drive. And where'd they go? They went to Rhode Island, or they went to New Bedford. New Bedford even had a drone event, which, from what I understand, was very beautiful. It was done very well. Thousands of drones in the air painting pictures in the sky. And the gentleman who runs the company said that the show goes great with fireworks. They complement each other. Well, maybe next year New Bedford will do that. They'll run some fireworks and the show. The show was only 15 minutes long, but at least New Bedford did something. Like they're doing for affordable housing. But Fall River, they can't do that. They can't get out of their way. Okay? See, I love Miss X comment. New Bedford, once again, showing Fall River what it means to live without fear. Mr. X, you're so right. You're always so right. I love that. I love that.
Well, look. The problem we have here is like we are the very definition of insanity. We all know what the definition of insanity is: repeating the same action and accepting a different result. Fall River never listens to anything. They blame everybody. Oh, it, everybody hates Fall River. The judge says I'm sick of seeing you up here because you never obey the law. They're picking on us. They're picking on us. But we keep doing everything to the detriment of the taxpayers in the city. People got their tax bills. They're going, oh my God. And why? Why? Because what do? We ignore history. We had that little excerpt from the retirement board meeting on the last, I don't know if it was the first or second segment, when they said, when he tried to say, oh, he's all over the place. Yeah, you're right. What I was doing was telling you how we got here. We got here by ignoring their obligation to give to the pay into the system. They just kept skimming it from '02 to 12, and I had all the numbers, and I had the case law on fiduciary, but they don't want to hear it. It's like, shut up. We don't want to hear that. We don't care how we got here. We're just going to repeat the same thing, kill the system again, and then down the road, like you said, CJ, they're not going to be here. Paulie Pockets is moving to Somerset so fast when he's no longer a politician. The only reason he moved back was so he could be a politician. And as soon as he's no longer a politician, he's going back to Somerset so fast there'll be a vapor trail coming out of his anal sphincter. And they don't care. They don't care. They want money now. They want money next year. They want money till the end of the payment cycle. And then when we're looking at a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars, they're going to go, we can't afford it. So they'll look to cut benefits, and they'll look to kick it down the road. And I think in the next segment we're going to show, whenever we show it, you're going to see them saying, oh, you're trying to hold us hostage. Oh, we're being held? I'm trying to hold you hostage by telling you to pay on time? I'm holding you hostage by not letting you skim like you did from '02 to 12? You're right. I'm holding you hostage, I guess. I'm trying to make you do the right thing. And in Fall River, that's a virtual impossibility when you're dealing with government. Because all they know how to do is spend your money and send you a bigger water bill, a bigger tax bill, a bigger everything. Because everybody's getting their tax bill. I didn't get mine yet. I'm probably going to get it tomorrow. Because we always get our mail a little later up here in the Flint. The Flint is like where it's like the T. It's always running late. Our mail. But I'll be getting the tax bill. And we told you this. Remember, we told you this last year when he subsidized your tax bill with ARPA money. So you're not only getting the increase for this year, you're getting what you didn't pay last year because that didn't go away. And that's the irony of it. They keep saying, well, just give us the money and shut up. And that's the problem. I mean, they don't care how much debt they run up, because most of those people can either afford the debt or they're going to move out of here. You're not going to tell me these people are going to stay here for the rest of their lives. They don't even like the people in Fall River. The great unwashed. We heard it again. They were talking about how, we're building a market. Everybody else in the country is talking about affordable housing and what a crisis we have, except in Fall River. Think about this, people. They're doing the exact same thing with market rate housing that they did with the retirement, what they did with the trust. Shut up, it's great. The T is great. All those people in Boston don't know anything. Oh, wait a minute. They didn't really close the T into Plymouth. No. You guys are all lying. No. They don't care. They just don't want you to know. They're going to tell you, shut up. It's going to be wonderful. Trust me. The check's in the mail. You know that promise? The check's in the mail, and a few others that go along with it that are rated R that I can't say on the show. With those other promises that are never kept. Well, the city never keeps a promise. Remember that. Because they said we were flush. We're flush, and now they're begging. Because just like the T, we're not going to get weekend service. They're going to have electric trains. And wait till we see how much we got to pay for that electricity. And that thing will never run, right? We know that. You were talking about them being stacked up. They're not going to make it a commuter. They're going to change it. So they're going to be waiting on a train track. That thing is going to be a total zero. And I will remind you of what my prediction was. A couple of years ago when I went to a function for one of the banks we invested in, I told the guy, he said, what do you think about the T? I said, that T is going to be a total disaster. And within 5 to 10 years of when it's finally finished, it's going to be a homeless encampment. And with that, back to you.
You're absolutely right. And by the way, I do have the retirement board queued up, so whenever you're ready to stop playing it, I will play it. It's about 10 minutes long, I believe, so we'll be good. But the thing is that the article today shows that they weren't planning very well because the Taunton train, the Fall River train, and the New Bedford train all come together in Middleborough with the Middleborough train. That's 4 trains. And those 4 trains have got to go up into Dorchester and Quincy, which makes 6 trains. And they're saying that those trains are going to be backed up, waiting on the tracks for the train in front of them to move forward. And they can't fix that until phase 2, which they're saying won't happen until after 2030. So you got to wait another 5 or 10 years for that to change, if it changes at all. So remember, you heard it here first when we knew it better last year, and that's the truth.
Yeah, a quick one on that. It's never going to get fixed because the only way they can fix that is put more track in. They are hundreds of billions of dollars in the hole already. If they try to fix that, they will be trillions of dollars in the hole. And with that, CJ, we're done with this subject. If you want to run that, it gets a little testy, I think, here. So it'll be a good one.
I hear you, and I love the way it opens. So be listening very carefully for the way it opens.
So with that,
Yeah, no, you watch. You watch.
yeah, okay.
Listen, again,
Okay.
to Mr. Nasser, there is an option, but that option costs the city more money in the long term. Can we agree on that? So my point is, that's what we're saying, if the end result where the city paid the same amount, it isn't. It's like skipping payments and they say, you don't have to make the payment, but we're adding the interest to it. So at the end of the day, your payment, total payment, will be more. And again, what's that? This funding schedule says 2035. There is some wiggle room in there. And the reason the legislature did that was for gateway cities or things that have trouble. We talked about it. They will go back and extend that funding schedule and give the city the relief they need. But for the 1800s,
They could, but I mean, that's
Listen.
it's possible.
it's
I
more
agree
probable.
with
It's more probable. They're not going to let cities go, gateway cities go into bankruptcy.
Correct.
Because
I
they
agree with
can't. So my thing to you is, we have done, given this option. Nothing says that if circumstances change, we don't change. But I have a responsibility to the 1,800 retirees, and more importantly, to the people that the city is hiring in the last 2, 3, 4, 10 years that expect to get something. And I can remember, I've been here a long time, they said, oh, there'll never be layoffs in public safety. There was. I don't want to see, certainly under my watch, to see some retiree whose earnings capacity is diminished, to have the city go to them and say, because the system's so bad, we have to reduce your pension. What does that person do? I cannot sit here. Maybe the storm's coming, you want me, but I can't sit here until I see the clouds. And I say to you, with all sincerity, I am willing to move. Should there be this tempestuous, nefarious action,
Right.
I'm willing to. But I think to do it now and default on my first payment is not the way to go.
We all agree, because at the last meeting, we said that this system in the future with all the pay raises and everything can't function. And we also know they've already done that. You remember, Jimmy, that when this system was created, we were supposed to be funded by 2010. Now it's 2035. It's going to be 2045. And ultimately, the system is going to have to either change drastically or be eliminated. And we are all willing at some point in time, because we know that at some point in time, this is unsustainable. It's unsustainable, but I agree with you. The problem is that right now we're talking about a situation where we should not be dealing with such a small amount that we're gonna gain by taking it away from.
We made a promise to those people that are retired and those people that are. And I can't, in good conscience, say I'm worried about something to put those people, and basically, more so the people that are working now. The other people are collecting. But the people that are working now, put what they have envisioned for their retirement in some sort of jeopardy. I just can't do it. And again, I said to them, I'm willing to move.
No, listen, the problem is with the actuary at the end of the day, because they're the ones that said, here you go. Here it is. Here's two. Pick.
I mean,
That's the problem with the whole thing.
But is there an actuary a guesser?
Let me.
No, they're an educated guesser.
What did I say the last meeting?
Aren't they educated guesses?
What did I say the last meeting?
Well, I agree.
So the law allows you to spread this funding out to be fully funded by 2040.
Correct.
Right now, we're already on track to fund this 5 years before that. So I really don't think we're not making our mortgage payment. I don't think we're kicking a can down the road. As of right now, you're already funding this 5 years ahead. So I don't agree with you.
Well, let me say that from someone who is in this, who sat in meetings just like this with the power brokers or whatever. The reason there's 5 years is for situations like Fall River, to give them a gap. And neither PARA nor the government is going to say to you today, it's okay.
We have already said we were willing to talk about that when we talked about the $14,000 COLA base increase. We talked about funding, looking at a schedule, and maybe you weren't here because you're fairly new, but I'm sure Mr. Nassif remembers this. We were talking about moving it to 40, looking at the actuarial projections to allow the employees to move up to with the rest of the state. That's 345 people, and also making it easier on the city. It's not like we're not willing to negotiate.
So I've looked at that.
Yeah.
And so when you're concerned about that costing more money, that will cost more money if you extend it out.
Yeah.
Okay? So this isn't gonna cost you more money, and it allows some cash flow relief. Personally, I would like to roll it out I'd like to make a motion to roll this out to 2040. I think.
Yeah,
So you're willing, so I just understand something, you're willing to extend it out to 2040, but you're not willing to go with an alternative schedule.
I'm willing to put out the 40 because we're getting something for the retirees. This system has never gotten an increase in the COLA base since the inception of this thing. We have 60%, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm ballparking, I'm remembering, 60% of the retirees in this system are working on living on less than $30,000, and 50% are living on less than $50,000, or less than $25,000 a year. And they're getting a COLA base of 12,000, where 345 cities and towns are at least 14 and up. And that's to me, there's a quid pro quo
So
here.
you're gonna hold it hostage.
When you
You're
negotiate.
holding the funding schedule hostage.
I'm not holding a.
That's exactly what you're doing.
No, I'm doing what you do all the time.
So there was a motion made and it was seconded, and where do we go from here?
So
Well,
unless there's for, I mean.
So can't we make a
until-
We're just going in a
You
circle.
you can make a motion to end discussion if you want, and then move it to a vote, and if that motion carries to end discussion, then you move it to a vote on the reconsideration.
I'd like to make a motion to move it to a vote.
Second.
Well, we have a motion on the table, we have first and a second.
Mr. I don't want to be there. I don't know. We have the motion to reach, so we have to have the vote on, what are we voting
So
on?
the motion right now, if I understand it, is to end the discussion, to move it to a
End the
vote.
debate.
To move it to a vote,
That's
to
it.
end the debate. So there's a motion and second to end the debate. So
End the
I-
debate,
you
yeah.
need a
End
vote.
the discussion and move it to a vote,
Okay,
whether
all
to
right,
agree.
Okay, all right. I just want to be clear on what we're
Well,
voting on.
no, I think that's a good point.
No, just
Okay.
clarify.
So, first and a second, Jimmy?
Well, no, it's not a call, just all in
Okay,
favor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, motion passes.
Alright, so now,
I would like to make a motion
Yeah.
that we stick with the original funding schedule of 7.1. I think it's a new thing.
so don't we have to make a
Essentially-
motion to
Well, essentially,
revisit?
essentially, that's a motion to not reconsider.
So-
Okay.
Well, yeah, just so make it that
Right,
way.
because-
not-
yeah,
Oh, okay. So now are we on the motion to reconsider?
Right,
Okay, I'm sorry.
yes. So
Okay,
the
so that
next-
motion is still out there.
That's a
Right,
point,
right,
that's a
so
priority.
the next, if I may, the next appropriate motion would be either to reconsider or to not reconsider. And then what if either motion is made and seconded, you can have a discussion, although I think you've already had your discussion, and you wanna move it to a vote.
I'll make a motion to reconsider.
I second.
Motion is
You
second.
can't make that motion, we're gonna.
Well,
really
It's
well,
start.
already, it's
No,
built
you
now.
can say-
Now it's the new,
Correct.
We already did that,
Arthur already
Okay.
made that.
yeah.
Right.
so,
I already
Well, you
seconded.
didn't have to make it then.
On the motion to reconsider, that's where we are.
that's where we're at, okay,
Right.
great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nothing's changed. This will never change.
Opposed, no, right?
No,
All
No.
opposed.
no,
All opposed?
no.
To understand this, if we vote either way, it's just to reconsider.
It's just to put it back on the table for further action.
So the current funding schedule that's in place for 2025 continues. We're
Well, no,
looking at,
not necessarily. So,
I understand this before.
I just got wind of the topic very recently, so I haven't had an opportunity to speak with PERAC. I don't know if there was a vote to reconsider and then a vote to adopt a different funding schedule, whether or not they would accept that. I don't know. I don't know that they wouldn't, but I can't give you any guidance on that. All I can say to you is, as it stands right now, there's a motion to reconsider. I've heard 2 votes against and 2 votes in favor. I don't think the chair has voted, or did you vote on?
No.
Okay, so your vote, if you vote yes, then that puts the matter back on the table. You can then continue the discussion as to which schedule to pick, or you can table it to gather further information, take more time, can speak with PERAC to see if they will entertain a change. If the vote is to not reconsider, then the issue is over, you've already voted the funding schedule. You would essentially then have to take one more vote to reinstitute the original vote that you took from the last meeting. I know this sounds procedurally a little bit complicated, but that's.
Can I add a little clarification to Mike when he's done speaking?
Go ahead, Mike.
All right, so on Friday, Mark asked me to call John Borak about this issue and whether we could do anything with PERAC.
Well, there you have it. You're holding her hostage. It's your fault.
Yeah, we're holding this, yeah, well, and you look, she's a pathological liar, and she's also clueless. She doesn't know what she's talking about half the time. Like when she went in front of the council and said that a funding source was something, some investments in the future we're looking at, without identifying any investments. So I'll ask her and Mr. Nassif, the financial fiduciary wizard, if they ever invest in things that they haven't researched, what their return is, just investments. You just go up, just throw a dart. Just throw a dart at the board and invest in that thing. So number one, that's ridiculous. You don't have to be a fiduciary. And what she lied about is you're not losing any money. Look, even she's not that dumb. If we take the other schedule, we're getting $500,000 less into our investment portfolio. The city gets to keep it and spend it. We are getting less money. So that's a lie. And this is the problem. They routinely just lie about everything, whether it's the MBTA, the charter, you name it. Market rate housing is going to save the city, even though nobody can afford it. They just routinely lie. This is a joke. These two are shills for the city. They're there for the city, and they want to get as much money as they can. And it's not going to be this year. $500,000 next year. Next year, they will back the lowest amount of money that the city can put in to the plan. And we are losing money. This is what happened from 02 to 12, when they put in $89 million less and they tanked the system. I mean, she didn't even look at the numbers. She's supposed to be a CFO. If you look at those two schedules, I mean, you don't have to be Milton Friedman. If you put in less money, you're going to pay more on the back end. It's like if you only pay barely over your interest rate on your credit card, you don't think at the end of the loan you're going to pay more money in 20, 29, 30, 31, 34, 35? Look at the schedule. You don't want to look at the schedule. It's like, Joe, shut up. Just enjoy your pension. Shut up. They're just out and out liars. I'm going to have the numbers at the next meeting, and I'll do them on the show after the next retirement board meeting. I'll show you. So we're not losing any money. The system isn't losing any money. No, the city's getting the money up front, all the way to the end, and at the end they're going to go, oh man, we couldn't pay the first schedule. There's no way we can pay this. So we have to kick the can down the road and push it down to 2040 or 2045 or whatever. And you saw it. They have a total disregard for the people. They don't give a shit. They don't care about the retirees. They don't want to give these people a $60 pay raise. We are one of only 6 cities or towns in the state that still have the lowest COLA, the COLA that was originally made and never moved off it. You know what they make right now with their COLA with a $12,000 base? They make 98 cents a day when they get a COLA raise. Less than $7 a week. They make less than $1 a day, because right now it's 360. But she says, "Oh my God, my hair's on fire! You're holding us hostage! You slug retirees! You people that are living on $25,000, $30,000 a year before taxes! You actually want to go where you're getting $1.15 instead of 98 cents? Shut up! I'm making 150 grand. You can't get your 15 cents, 17 cents. You're holding us hostage. You're holding us hostage. That's why I hate them. They disgust me. They disgust me. Just like we discussed them when he said, just enjoy your pension, in a demeaning and derogatory way. And if that happens again, I'm going to object. And I told him. And he said, I better watch it. No, he better watch it. Because I'm going to tell you what, if you feel froggy, jump. Because I'll be waiting for you. 17-cent pay raise. A 17-cent pay raise. And we're holding them hostage as they screw you. They stick it up your rear with your tax rates. Never stop giving tips out. Never stop freaking raising your fees. And the retirees and the representatives of the retirees are holding them hostage. So you know what I got to say to that? Right there. Okay? Because that's what they are. They don't give a shit. And I said it and he admitted it. Oh, I don't care? I said, no, you don't. And he went, okay, I don't care. You're right. You don't care. And neither does the West Warwicker, because she doesn't give a shit. She's not going to work here very much longer. We get a new mayor, she's going to be toast. She needs 15 assistants to do her job. She's going to be gone. All they're worried about is short-term money. And they don't care how much debt they put us in, because none of them will be around here. None of them care. So, if you think I'm infuriated, you're right. Like I said, I'm the guy that fields the calls from people who have to choose between medication and eating. And these people have the audacity, the temerity to say shit like that. And that's why I'm glad it was taped, because now you see it firsthand how little they care about you, how little they care about you, the taxpayer, and you, the retirees. And they don't care what they do to the actors. See, Jimmy brought that up. This system's going to get tanked. They gave them all big pay raises, and guess what? They keep pissing away money like this. You know what they're going to do by the time they retire? Cut the benefits, because they won't be able to afford it. And the city doesn't have to pay any of this money back. It's just like, oh shit, we can't afford it. What can we do? Oh, we got to increase the contributions from the employees, and we got to freaking cut the benefits of the retirees. That's what happens when this happens, and they don't care about that. They don't want anybody to know, because they never suffer any consequences. That's why retirement systems throughout the country have been tanked, because cities have no repercussions, and that's the reality.
Just look at Rhode Island. They want to add financing to their retirement system. They're so destroyed. So it gets to be interesting. I think one of the things was funny was what Mr. X said. Time for a vote to make them pay on time, which is true. It's time to make them pay on time. So I hope you all had a very happy and safe New Year's Eve. Please remember, have a better and safe 2024, and we will be here to make sure you are informed in 2024. And call Durfee High School and speak to Rainey Kochman and tell him you want the retirement board meetings recorded again, because this is how the mayor is pulling his stunts, because they stopped recording the retirement board meetings because he didn't want this to get out there. So we bring it to you live. That's the way we have to do it, because we need to fight for the people of Fall River and for our retirees. I want to thank you all for watching, and remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. We'll see you on Wednesday.